What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel. And yep, CMP mining cards are not selling as well as Nvidia hoped. Isn't it? Isn't it just great to see some sort of like unnecessary justice come about? And a lot of people on both sides of the fence have opinions. A lot of the gamers are like, miners should be buying the mining cards. And then, miners are like, we should be able to buy the gaming cards. But then Nvidia's like, oh, we're going to have LHR. And then you can buy mining. None of this helps the end user consumer. Black Ryan, thanks for subscribing. And what I mean by that is, before we get started on this article, miners buying mining cards means whenever they go to sell off, gamers aren't going to be able to buy them. Because for the most part, there is workarounds, but for the most part, nobody's going to want to use a mining card for gaming because it has no display outs. Now, there are workarounds where you can use another graphics card or the internal graphics and then have the processing offloaded onto the mining card, but it's just not realistic, and it's not something that people are going to do. So mining cards are basically e-waste whenever they're not profitable anymore. They are e-waste. They can't be used for gamers. And I feel like a lot of gamers overlook that. They're like, oh my God, all the miners are buying up all our cards. And they don't think about when the dumping happens. When the market gets overloaded with old mining cards. Now, in the past, those were just regular GPUs. There wasn't a ton of mining specific cards. But now Nvidia is really pushing their CMP lineup of dedicated mining cards. And then on the gaming side, they're LHR, so it actually hurts the hash rate, so it de-incentivizes miners to buy regular gaming cards. Now, let me bring up this article right here. This is on PCGamer.com. Nvidia sold fewer CMP mining GPUs than expected, but it still had a really good 3 months of sales. So Nvidia held an earnings call covering the second quarter of 2021, where it managed to record record-breaking revenues, particularly when it came to gaming. Demand for Nvidia's gaming GPUs continued to outstrip supply, resulting in the Green Team managing record gaming revenues of $3.06 billion. Holy smokes. That's up 85% from the same period last year. Nvidia did release the RTX 3080 Ti and 3070 Ti in that time period, which helps explain why it's done so well. We preferred the non-Ti versions of both cards, but there's no getting away from the fact that the market is absolutely desperate for graphics cards right now, regardless of how good they are. Given how good the 30 series is, I can't help but wonder how much more Nvidia could have made if supply wasn't such a problem. And if cards weren't selling at something close to MSRPs, although if that was the case, then maybe AMD would have a few more cards out there to make this a fair battle. Yeah, AMD, man, I feel like they're really missing the boat on this. When asked about the problems with supply, or when the problems with supply would end, Jensen echoed that other silicon manufacturers have been saying lately. I would expect that we will see a supply-constrained environment for the vast majority of the next year, is my guess at the moment. So, not anytime soon. A sobering answer for sure, although probably a realistic one. Maybe Intel entering the graphics card market start of next year will ease the demand of Nvidia's GPUs. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. Intel's going to be too new. Nobody's going to want them because they're not going to be cutting edge or breakthrough. And if anything in the past has like proved its point, Intel's not going to be your budget lineup. So Intel's not going to be the cheapest. They're not going to be the fastest. I don't know who's going to buy them, but only time will tell. You may be wondering what percentage of the gaming revenue is made up from people buying graphics card for cryptocurrency mining. It's hard to totally unpick what those cards are being bought for, although Nvidia has tried to dissuade miners with the low hash rate GPUs, or LHR. People are still buying and mining on LHR cards, by the way. Nvidia also introduced its CMP, or crypto mining processor cards, specifically for miners when it introduced those LHR offerings, so it can at least track those numbers. Nvidia says it only sold 266 million worth of CMP cards, which is lower than the 400 million it expected. And guys, this is not hard to understand. no mining operation would willingly buy CMP cards for more money than the equivalent gaming card, because the equivalent gaming card should be able to mine as fast, if not faster, and have tremendously higher resale value because it can be used in multiple different scenarios afterwards. You know, gaming, processing, video editing, all kinds of different things. Whereas these CMP cards are stripped down. They have no display outputs. And like I said earlier, after mining becomes unprofitable on those cards, they basically become e-waste. So this Nvidia is acting like they're doing everybody a favor, especially the gamers. Oh yeah, we're limiting the gaming cards and we're making the CMP cards for miners. All they're doing is creating extra products and basically product lines to like funnel cards to mining farms, because these CMP, these crypto mining cards, are not available to the general public normally. These are getting sold in pallets to these big corporations and big companies, big farms. The hobby miners, the guys that are mining at home or mining in their garage, those guys are buying graphics cards. They're buying gaming graphics cards. We are not going to take the risk on the crypto mining cards. I have a couple of them, not the newer ones. I have the old ones, but there's no reason to like have that unnecessary risk. So, I've been telling everybody a long time, the LHR and the CMP stuff, all that will go away when the market tanks, essentially, because that's what happened last time. They were making the P106 and the P102s. Nvidia was, trying to get a crypto division spooled up. But as soon as interest dropped off and cards flooded the market, they basically suspended that whole line. And that's what's going to happen again. Hopefully, they won't keep pushing this LHR thing forward, but who knows? Some people say we may not be, we may be into ETH 2.0 before we know it, so it's not even going to be an Ethereum problem. It'll just be whatever they limit it for next. So, with that being said, though, I want to thank you guys for coming out. Hopefully, you enjoyed that article, a little bit of talk. I'd love for you guys to comment down below how many of my viewers out there actually have a CMP, a newer crypto mining processor graphics card. Does anybody out there have those? I mean, like in a small scale, I don't think I know anybody personally, but I'm curious to know. So later, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Adios.